Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Today is Thursday and it's been a good day. I hope yours has been too. So I asked what you wanted to hear about tonight, and Janae had mentioned cortisol, and I'm like, oh, that is such a great topic. So first off, I'm gonna say I am not a doctor. I am nobody special. It's just what I have researched and what I know just from my own health. So cortisol, yes, it is a hormone made in the gut, and it affects a lot of belly fat. And that's what most people relate it to, is high cortisol and a bigger stomach, because that is one of the biggest signs that people know that they have a cortisol issue. And a lot of it has to do with stress. And so let's talk about what we can do to help that cortisol level. So first off, some common signs of high cortisol. And this is not a tried and true for everybody. It is just some signs that are known for this, and it can apply to other health issues as well. So just because you have this doesn't mean that you have high cortisol level. But anyway, so it is an issue with weight gain, and like I say, predominantly in the belly area. A lot of muscle weakness or fatigue. So that is a sign of that as well. Skin changes. So you might bruise faster or more easily and feeling tired. Those muscles, you thought what you could do before now seems more tiring. So that is a thing. Mood swings is a thing. Irregular monthly cycles. So if you're younger and you're dealing with some of these issues, it might be something to check out, because you could be having some high cortisol levels. And check with your doctor. They can give you suggestions as well and help you with that. Also, it's a low sex drive, and some other symptoms could be high blood pressure and difficulty concentrating and osteoporosis. So those are some things. Also, blood sugar plays in that, because your gut distributes differently, and so your gut talks to your brain, and it will tell you what to store and what to get rid of. And so when you're having cortisol issues, cortisol is kind of considered like your fight and flight hormone. And so when you're under stress, your gut is telling your body to save, because you might be like not eating properly. So the way you eat tells your brain to store. So you might be thinking you're eating healthy, or you're not eating that much, but everything that you eat, your brain is telling your body to store it for energy for later. So it's very important to watch what you're eating for that purpose, because it's very important. If you are trying to lose weight and you're eating very minimal and you feel like you're at a standstill or the scale is going up, that's an issue. That could be your cortisol level, and because your body is storing it. 50 to 90% of your hormones are made in the gut, and that's why it's very important, because those are the transmitters that tell the brain what to do. So gut health is so important for that purpose, and that's why I talk so much about gut health, because it regulates almost everything that the body does. And so let's talk a little bit about what you can take for high cortisol levels. So like I say, I'm no doctor, so I'm just giving you some research that I've done and some things that I have used in the past because I have dealt with this. So let's start off by saying, what can you do as far as like exercise or lifestyle habits? So because it is regulated in the gut, you need to release some of that stress. So what is it that's stressing you out? Is there something that you can change in your lifestyle? If you know where that stress is coming from, where can you lessen the stress? Can you ask for help from somebody? Is it around a job? Can you change careers? Can you know, there's different things in our life. If you have a family that you're always doing everything for, can you ask for support from your kids or your spouse in helping out with certain things that are a little overwhelming? And maybe that will help you. Sleep is very important as well when you have stress. Actually, anytime. But when you are storing and have high levels of cortisol, you want to be sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night because your cortisol levels are the highest in the morning. And a lot of that, when you think about how your morning starts off, it's kind of like you're on this, you get up, you've got your routine, you probably got to get kids off to school, you got to get yourself ready for work, you're packing lunches, you're deciding what you need to have for the evening meal. Does it need any prep? Does it need to go in the crock pot? You know, all these things are on our minds, especially as women, as we start off our day. Plus, we got to get ourselves ready to get out the door. So the morning starts off stressful already, just dealing with all of that. So it is known that cortisol levels are high in the morning and tend to taper off throughout the day. Tends to be less likely in the evening because we are more relaxed as our day comes to an end. So that is a good thing. Now, what can we do for exercise? So you don't want to overdo exercise because if you're doing strenuous exercise, that is stressful on the body. And if you're dealing with high cortisol levels, those muscles are already weak. And so you don't want to overdo it because it will cause an injury or it will cause more tiredness. So it is nice to have like a leisure walk or some light weights, some dancing in the house to get some movement going, just something very light that can take your mind off of things for a while. So walking in nature is very helpful and has been known to help with lots of different things, from depression and mood changes, and just because you get out in the nature and you just kind of, the fresh air and all the things out in nature just kind of lets your mind at ease a lot of times. And so walking is known to be very helpful. Now, as far as some possible supplements, so a good vitamin would be a good place to start. In Singular, we have a liquid vitamin, and we also have some in capsules. So nutritional support for the body is very beneficial. Your omega-3 fatty acids are very helpful. And then also I am not even sure if I'm going to get this out right. Ashwagandha helps the adrenals. And so as far as what Singular has, we have the spring, and this might be very helpful for that. This comes in little packets that you mix with water. It is very helpful if you work out. This is a for hydration. What's the word I need? Electrolytes. So it replenishes electrolytes. Also, something in our line that may be helpful is cardio, because it opens up your blood vessels. And so if you are dealing with high blood pressure, which is a sign of high cortisol, cardio may be beneficial for you as well, because it helps lower blood pressure by opening up your blood vessels. So that is something that is worth trying. Also, magnesium might be worth trying. And it also says probiotics. So I take a morning probiotic. It's 1 capsule. This is the first thing I do when I get out of bed is I take this. I don't even go to the bathroom. I just automatically come to the kitchen, grab this, and take it with some water. And that starts my gut health out right away in the morning. And by having that gut balance, like I told you, almost up to 90% of your hormones are made in the gut. So what better than your probiotic and your prebiotic to get that gut health under control is magnificent. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I hope this was helpful, and have a great evening.